Hello, hello. Welcome one and the other one to a new series that I'm doing called Music Maker Mondays. My name's Nick Scarpinato. Don't know why I had to say that. Name's already down there. Stop ruining the video, Nick. So what I hope to do with this series is, as a music maker myself, and you being the lovely-faced music listeners that you are, like that shirt, by the way, I figured, as a music listener myself also, I would take a song or an album that I've been really jamming along with, vibing with for, however long. Usually they're going to have some sort of personal stake in the matter, because it'll probably be songs that I like and can talk about for an entire, 10 minutes. And just to give you my opinion on these songs and try to hook people up with some new artists and new songs and new albums to listen to. So, starting this series, and the album that we're going to be looking at today is Yellowcard's Ocean Avenue. This album, for me, has a lot of sentimental value. I stumbled across Yellowcard for the first time in 2013, which was 10 years after this album came out. So Yellowcard released an acoustic version of this album, acoustic versions of every single song. And when I listened to the title track, Ocean Avenue, I thought, God, this is, it feels like I should know this, and it feels like I do, but I don't recognize it at all. Have you ever happened to have that happen to you? It's a very confusing experience. But one that led me to listen to more Yellowcard and more Ocean Avenue, and until I became a huge mega fan. By the time they rolled around to Chicago in 2016, they were on their final tour because they were breaking up, and I got to see them at the House of Blues in Chicago. It was one of the most fun concerts I've ever been to. And I saw Nickelback in 2007, so... Oh, 2008. Sorry. Anyway, let's get on to the album. Let's break down the good stuff. The one advantage of being a pop punk band with a skilled violin player is having violin in your pop punk band. It could not sound like a less compatible combination, but it totally works. It 100% works. Sean Mackin, the violin player, as far as I know, he had taken lessons as a kid and as a youth, and he started playing with Yellowcard, and just the violin melodies that come from his playing that also complement the vocal melodies that William Ryan Key sings and writes and dances around with. They just work so well together. And along with having a violin, Sean also, I'm pretty sure, writes complete string arrangements for some of these songs. On this album, there's a beautiful string arrangement for Only One, which is the 6th song on the album and the second single, I think, that came from it. But yeah, every single one of these songs has a recognizable violin melody. Up until that point in my life, I had never heard such a great use of violin in a pop context since probably Come On Eileen. Is that a violin? I don't really know. But speaking of William Ryan Key and those vocal melodies, whew. Oh boy. That was so dumb. The melodies in these songs not only match really well with the music and the lyrics themselves, the harmonies that Sean Mackin adds underneath William Ryan Key singing are, in my opinion, phenomenal. And they're super catchy, and the violin gets to play with melodies that circle back to the vocal melodies, and the intricate way in which all of this is put together. Not to mention the phenomenal rhythm section playing from the bass and drums. But yeah, the rhythm section stuff, also phenomenal. And I always say that one of the best things that a band can do is sound like a band. Like, I mean, I don't always say that because I don't really have a way to explain it right now, so I'll do my best. When multiple band members play like the same part together, like maybe it's a rhythm or maybe it's a melody or maybe the bass plays the vocal melody at one point and like maybe the bass catches like figures that the drums are playing. Those are the moments in songs, particularly like songs by bands, where I think to myself like this is a like phenomenal work by a bunch of people who like mesh well together, like musically and however else you want to think about that. Some standout tracks that feature not only amazing string arrangements but also amazing vocal arrangements are, like I said, listen to Ocean Avenue, the title track. That's probably the one that you'll know if you don't know this album already. Only One is also a really great song with some really phenomenal string work. Believe is a really inspirational song. The violin at the beginning sounds like a siren, like a police siren or a firefighter siren. I am 90% sure that it was written from the perspective of someone thanking a firefighter for rescuing them after the 9/11 attacks in New York. Don't quote me on that, but whether or not that's the case, it's still a beautiful song and a beautiful sentiment. Certainly a standout track. And the last track, Back Home, utilizes classic Yellowcard rhetoric, which includes California, breathing in like the southern air, summer air, all of the things that make this album as great as it is. And I'm a sucker for the beach. I'm a sucker for water. So this album still holds up for me. I still like to play it like when I'm driving with the windows down, if it's warm enough, because here in Illinois, the weather changes just about every day. So I love this album so much. I personally think it still holds up, not just as a pop punk album, but as a great album in and of itself, and in its own regard. Be sure to check it out. Let me know what you liked about this little series. If there's anything I can change. If you like this series, be sure to let me know what you like about it. I'm going to keep pumping these out every Monday that I don't end up doing a mashup Monday. Be sure to check that video out. Be sure to check my album out. I'll put descriptions for all of those down in the description below. I used descriptions twice. Great. But yeah, anyway, check out Ocean Avenue by Yellowcard. My name's Nick, and I will see you all. I don't have a catch line. Catch line? I don't have a catchphrase yet. A tagline. So, stay alive.